what's up YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551. Excuse me. And excuse me again, whoa. And I am back with a sort of my 2 cent video game / Switch video for this week, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on a couple of issues that popped up this week though. Joy-Con, the Crash Bandicoot Trilogy, and Skyrim on the Switch. So why don't we get started with the first one, which is the Joy-Con though. As some of you probably are aware, this news has sort of came out on it on the Joy-Cons though. Again, I'll have a link in the description and you can check it out yourself. And supposedly it has to do with the issue regarding the left Joy-Con. Apparently, according to several articles, it's pointing to the fact that some reviewers, shall we say, are having issues with it while reviewing, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild that come out, that they're losing connection or having some trouble controlling Link, or Link controls his own, and so forth. And some reviewers have sort of run into this issue. Others have not, though. Again, I don't 100% know for certain, since I don't have a Nintendo Switch and I probably won't be getting mine. I'll be, picking it up on March 3rd like everyone else. But Game Explained, and again I'll have a link in the description of their video, basically showed what seems to be the problem. Supposedly, again, not 100% accurate, but based on what they've shown, it seems it has to do with the IR sensor, where if for some reason you're holding a controller and you put your finger covering up that IR sensor, then it sort of blocks the connection between the Joy-Cons and the system. And supposedly they showed off another one where they sort of took the Joy-Con and kind of put it behind their back, and that's where some of the issues started to pop up. Now, recently Nintendo has sort of came out and said that they are investigating the matter, and it is possible that this could be fixed through a software update or not. So again, we don't know 100% for sure. My take on it is that if it truly is the IR sensor, if that's really the big issue, then it's not nearly as bad, but it can be a problem for a lot of people. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out when the system launches in March 3rd and see how widespread it gets. Is it going to be a big problem for a lot of gamers? If it's going to be not a big problem or anything like that, I mean, I'll be trying. I mean, it seems though that it's not the Pro Controller being affected though, but I'm certainly going to try it out as well when I play Breath of the Wild and see if I'm running into that same problem or not. But am I too worried about it? Not necessarily. I think where it might become an issue is if it starts becoming widespread and other people are pointing to the problem, and it turns out that this issue cannot be resolved through a software update, that there is a huge hardware defect and Nintendo has to recall some of these Joy-Cons. I mean, that, I think, if it gets to that point, that probably will be a really big issue. For now, we'll have to wait and see if they release a software update or not, and we'll have to wait and see if consumers are going to run into this problem, same as some of these reviewers who are taking a look at the Nintendo Switch, if they're running into similar problems as well. I'm still looking forward to picking up the Nintendo Switch, but I certainly will be keeping an eye out and seeing if I'm going to run into that same problem that other reviewers have or not. So still excited, but I'll be a little bit cautious to see how this plays out though. Alright, this concludes part 1 of our video. We're going to take a quick little break, and when we come back, I'll be going to part 2, which will be talking about Crash Bandicoot and the possibility that might not be a PS4 exclusive. So, take a little break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of our video. Before I begin, I do want to point out that I'm in my work clothes shirt because unfortunately I had to work on a Saturday though. Normally I have my day off, so I don't have any cool or unique shirt on. So in case you're asking, it's my work shirt where I work though. Alright. So anyway, as some of you are aware, Crash is making a comeback, and he's going to be appearing in a basically a remake of the first 3 Crash games that were released on the PlayStation, called, I think, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Excuse me. And it's basically, they have announced a launch date for the PS4 and PS4 Pro for June 30th, 2017. That said, there's been some interesting thing going on around lately, though. Recently, basically in a tweet from PlayStation Ireland, again, this is a story from the Structoid. Again, I'll have a link in the description of this video, and you can read it yourself, though. It seems as though that originally it was believed that this game would be exclusive to the PS4, for the PlayStation 4. However, what's interesting is that the original tweet, and according to the article though, the original tweet has since been deleted and has been replaced with a different answer. According to Sony, the tweet from PlayStation Ireland says, "Will launch on the 30th June 2017. To clarify our early post, it will be coming to the PS4 and PS4 Pro first." In other words, that kind of comes off a little bit as that this may not be a PS4 exclusive as originally thought. That it is a possibility that we could see this come on either the Xbox One or Scorpio, or we could see it come to the Nintendo Switch. Now, to be clear, so far there has been no confirmation on whether or not those versions exist or anything. As of right now, it is still coming to the PlayStation 4, basically on June 30th, 2017. PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro, alright? But if what this post on Twitter from PlayStation Ireland says is accurate, then it is possible we could see the game be released on the Xbox One, Scorpio, and the Switch, possibly on a later date. I mean, it's not like a situation like this happened before. I mean, look at Rise of the Tomb Raider. That was released exclusively on the Xbox One until a year later when it was eventually released on the PlayStation 4. I mean, even the original Resident Evil that was remade for the Nintendo GameCube along with Resident Evil 0 originally was exclusive just on, on Nintendo systems, but eventually they started to make their way onto, the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, PS4, Xbox One. So I wouldn't rule out the possibility that the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy could come to, the Switch or, the Xbox One or Scorpio. I wouldn't rule that out, but until we officially see something or hear anything, I'm going to be a little bit cautious about it. As far as my take about it, though, I wouldn't mind if it's multi-platform, okay? I wouldn't lose sleep if it's just exclusive for the PS4, but I wouldn't be against if Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy does come to other systems as well. Besides, the idea of playing it on the go on the Nintendo Switch does sound intriguing, so we'll have to wait and see what happens, though. They may announce something before, or it may just end up being just PS4 exclusive in the end, no matter what. I mean, after all, Crash Bandicoot has made an appearance on both the Xbox brand and the Nintendo brand before, though, under different publishers and different developers, though. So, again, I wouldn't rule out the possibility of the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy being released on other systems, but until we hear until Activision officially says something, or otherwise, it's most likely going to be just on the PS4, but we'll have to wait and see. And again, I'm not against it if it becomes a multi-platform release. Alright, so we're going to take a quick little break, and then when we come back, we're going to get to our third and final part, where I give my thoughts on a comment made by Bethesda regarding Skyrim coming to the Nintendo Switch. So we'll take a little break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with the third part of our video, of our My 2 Cent Switch video. And for the third and final part, we're going to be talking about the Elder Scrolls Skyrim that is coming to the Nintendo Switch later this year. It was, you know, as some of you are aware, it was first shown off when they showed off the Nintendo reveal trailer back in October. At the time, people weren't sure if the game was coming or not, and then eventually it was officially shown that it was coming to the Nintendo Switch. Even though the game was released back in 2011, let's see, 7, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I mean, it's like a 6-year-old game to be exact, though. Good game, nevertheless. I've played it on the PS4. I did a review on that one last year, though. But recently, there has been some comments that have been coming out regarding the Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Again, I apologize I said that name correctly. Supposedly, where it's still unclear exactly what version we're getting. An article posted on Polygon. I'm reading this off the Nintendo Life website, though. Again, I'll have a link in the description. You could read it yourself. They talked with Howard, one of the folks who works at Bethesda, who basically during the interview was asked about the upcoming port of the Switch. And according to what Todd Howard said, let's see if I can. He said that he can't say whether the upcoming Skyrim game for the Nintendo Switch will be the original six-year-old game or the new special edition. This worries me a little bit, though. Okay. It's not that I'm against the idea of playing Skyrim and bringing it on the go. It's the fact that there is the possibility, although there's no 100% confirmation yet, though, we'll have to wait and see. Nevertheless, there is the possibility that it might not be the newest special edition, and that worries me a little bit because outside of the fact that you could bring it on the go, I just think that's going to be a hard sell to convince consumers why they should pick up the Switch version. I mean, and it's one of the issues that a lot of people who owned a Wii U were not happy with what third-party developers did, especially those who brought their popular games onto the Wii U at the time, though. And a lot of Nintendo fans felt like they got the short end of the stick meanwhile, the PS4 and Xbox One, they got like all the content, and Wii U owners got little to no content. And I am a little worried about it, though. I am a little worried about the idea that we could not get the special edition, because if that's the case, then what's the whole point of me picking up the Switch version when I could just buy, play the PS4 or the Xbox One or the PC version, which has all the DLC and content? I mean, it just makes picking up the Switch version seem pointless if I'm not going to get all the DLCs, all the stuff that's in the special edition that has already been out. Mods, we don't know if that is or not coming to the Switch, though. Mods aren't really a deal breaker for me, though. Again, I'm not against mods. I'm not against any of that. Okay, I think that if you enjoy mods, that's great. That's fine. It's just not a big deal for me, but for others, that's fine. But the fact that we could get basically what I like to dub the half-ass version, that worries me. That really does, because it doesn't convince me to go out and buy this in any way when you could just get, like I said, the Xbox One or the PS4, get like a used copy of it, or a new copy, however you want to approach it, or get it on PC with all the updates and all that stuff. So it does worry me a little bit, though. Although, to be fair, and I do want to be officially fair and officially clear, right now we don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. I am hoping, to say the least, that this is the special edition that we're going to get for the Switch version of Skyrim. I'm hoping that is the case, because I think that if it's not, that's going to be a hard sell to convince consumers. as I said before, I mean, it's going to be like, why pick up this version, which is like the inferior version, when I could pick up the superior version on PC, Xbox One, or PS4. So we'll have to wait and see, though. Fingers crossed that this is basically just a typo, or just like he said it the wrong way. Hopefully we're getting the special edition of Skyrim on the Nintendo Switch, though. I hope that happens, because that would be a big mistake if, in my opinion, if Bethesda launched a game like that with none of the updates and the DLCs from the other versions in it. I think that would be a hard sell for consumers, and I don't think Bethesda wants to put their first Switch game out and put it like that, because I think that if the game does poorly, that could impact and have Bethesda reevaluate whether they want to bring, any more of their games over to Nintendo Switch. So again, I could be wrong. It could be he could have misspoke, but we'll have to wait and see. But again, I hope it's a special edition. I hope it's not the vanilla version of it. I hope it's not the inferior version. So we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. Okay, this concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The My 2 Cent Switch video game video. And again, these are my opinion, but what are yours? What are your thoughts about the whole issue with the Joy-Con? Are you worried about the whole issue of people having trouble, with the left Joy-Con or not? Do you think that's a big deal? Do you think it's not a big deal? Are you not so worried about it? Do you think it's going to be widespread? Do you don't think it's going to be widespread? What are your thoughts about Crash Bandicoot possibly not being a PS4 exclusive? Are you okay with that? Are you not okay? Would you like to see Crash Bandicoot's Insane Trilogy on the Xbox One, Scorpio, or the Nintendo Switch? Or do you think it should stay a PS4 exclusive? And what about Skyrim on the Nintendo Switch? Are you worried with this recent comment made by Todd Howard of Bethesda? Are you worried that we might get like the worst version of Skyrim, that we're not going to get all the updates or DLC? Or do you feel like you're not panicking, you feel that Bethesda will give us the special edition version for the Nintendo Switch? And do you think the Switch will have the mod version, where you could make mods? Do you think it's going to be like it is on PC? Do you think it's going to be like it is on the PS4? Or do you think that Switch is not going to get mods? And if so, does that impact your decision to pick up the Switch version, or does it not impact your decision to pick up the Switch version? And which are you more concerned about? Mods not coming to the Nintendo Switch, possibly, or the fact that there is a chance that we could get the inferior version of Skyrim on the Nintendo Switch, not the superior version like we've seen on the PS4 and Xbox One. As always, sound off on the comments section below. Let me know what you think. I hope you like this video. I would appreciate it if you hit the like button. I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, feel free to donate to my channel if you like. I'll have a link in the description, though. You could do it through PayPal Me, or you can do it through Patreon. And it's evening in Southern California, so I'll be getting myself ready for bed soon. So I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that will be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good evening, and I hope to see you again. Bye!